Hello, my name is Ilona and today is Tuesday, May 14th, 2024. And first I just want to correct myself. In the video last week I mentioned Chris Cuomo and I confused him with his brother Andrew Cuomo. Andrew Cuomo was the governor of New York until August 2021 and he was the one that sent all these people from the care homes that ended up in the hospital with what happened the last 4 years, sent them back to the care homes when they were still ill or sick, and of course that led to all kinds of spreading, and he was responsible for that. He lost his job, he had to resign because of all kinds of allegations against him, and Chris, his brother, tried to help him in a way, and that led to his resignation of CNN, and now he works for News Nation, and he is the one that is changing his tune about the sting. So he was pro-sting, but now he's actually talking about the damage of the sting that has caused him. And not only that, but he's also talking about a certain medication that starts with an I and it ends with the I-N-E, I think. In Dutch we call it Ine. It's kind of like, how do you... In, I think, would be the English term for that. But I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. That was completely cut off, of course. That wasn't a medication that should be used, but he's now talking about that. So he's changed his tune, and I think that's very important. I also mentioned a couple of weeks ago in my video about the hat system of Ricardo Bosi with the yellow hats, not the yellow hats, the orange hats. That the orange hats believe everything that's being told by all these people, all these puppets on their TV screens. So it's very important that this puppet, because he's been on for a very long time, that people now see him talking about something else, because then they will believe that. At least that's how Ricardo Bosi sees the orange hats. Interesting. Just wanted to mention that. There was something that was just completely outrageous that I was like, I can't believe this is actually the case, but there is a new House Republican bill would send any person charged and convicted for illegal activity on a college campus to Gaza for at least 6 months. This Representative Andy Ogles, Representatives Randy Weber and Jeff Duncan want to respond to what is happening on the college campus by sending students who are caught apparently with all kinds of activity to the Gaza area, to Gaza. This is just so. The USA is being flooded with all kinds of refugees, and they're not doing anything about it. They should not be sent anywhere, but you're actually going to send American students to an area that's being torn apart at that moment. You think that's a great idea? Well, this to me feels like a white hat action because it's ridiculous. It's completely... It just blows my mind they would come up with this. And I'm sure that it's landing very well with all the parents of these students. And most of them are rich or have some kind of, a rich background, because most people in the USA, you need quite some money to study. And in the Netherlands that's changing as well. But I do know you need quite a lot of money. So a lot of students have kind of, a rich background. And a lot of these campuses where this is happening are kind of with rich parents, and so it's interesting to see. I'm sure they're very happy with the thought of their son or daughter sent over there. It's mind-blowing, mind-blowing. I'll share it on my Telegram channel, but this was actually reported by Fox News. It's just... Alright, well, in this video I actually looked at the, in my Dutch video. There is now the treaty from the WHO. I've looked at it before, but I'm at least one of the ministers that is still in the, I'm not sure how you call that, but of course they're trying to get a new government, but the old government is still in a position to do certain things, and they've signed for the treaty. even against the parliament. The parliament doesn't want them to sign for it, but this has happened before. We have a track record of, all these officials just signing for things. And I just wanted to talk about that as well. I did a card reading on that as well. To me, it feels like this is purposely done. And I just want to talk about the white hats. I believe that they purposely push these things through because it needs to be shown. Normally, we wouldn't even know about these treaties. We wouldn't even know about the WHO. I'm sorry, the Dutch word was in my head. I was like, what is it in English again? The WHO. We wouldn't know about this. We wouldn't know about the the World Economic Forum. All these things were kept in the dark. And it's all being brought out so people can see it. So that they're actually pushing this treaty here in the Netherlands. It's purposely done to show people that really politicians aren't listening to the people. They're not even really worried about, they don't really care about the people in the Netherlands. I also have to mention that they still have to ratify, at the ratification of the treaty, which means it has to go through the Parliament and the Senate here in the Netherlands. So they may have signed it, but it doesn't mean it's actually going to get through that. And if it is, if it's their ratification, then it will, then the Netherlands will fall under that. But until that has happened, there is no obligation for the Netherlands to follow that line. But I also want to mention that, I hear a lot of people, they're taking over and they're doing this and this. They already had that power. Look at the last 4 years. Look at what happened. All these countries suddenly closing up, all these same regulations, these things in front of your mouth, it all came from the WHO and from the WEF. It was all, orchestrated by the dark energies. All these agendas were pushed through. So to me, just because there's a treaty doesn't make a very much, a change to me. They already had that power. They were already talking to countries, you have to close off this, you have to close off that. So to be very honest, I don't really see a change here. I think this is just being used to show people, because there's also, this is from 9 News, this is unfortunately a Dutch, but I'm sure you can find this on English website as well. And there's going to be a worldwide standing up against the WHO, and this is in Japan, and this is from all these scientists getting together against the WHO and against the Gates Foundation, and this is happening on the May 31st. This is very important, and this happens because this treaty is now well known, and because countries are pushing for this, just these politicians signing for this. If the white hats would have just taken all these treaties away, I do understand that people are like, well, why aren't the white hats just taking those treaties away? If they are in control, why aren't they just stopping those treaties? Just end them somewhere in the bin and get rid of them. Then we wouldn't have people getting, activated in this way. Then we wouldn't have these scientists getting together. And it's very important. It's showing people what's going on. That's the feeling that I'm getting, and that's actually what I got from the card reading, because obviously I already shoved the cards in my Dutch video. I'll show you the cards in a moment. That is what the white hats are doing. They need these things pushed through. They need those extreme things to show people what's been going on, where the influence is coming from. You're not going to show them, but just taking care of everything, then a lot of people will not be waking up. This is the Great Awakening. We need those out of our comfort zone. We need to, get people activated, get people awake. And you're not going to awake them by taking away all these challenges and all these things. And just, we're going to settle everything for you. And we're in a new world now. It's not going to happen that way. The Great Awakening is about the awakening of humanity. We need to understand where we are giving away our powers, where we are manifesting, how we are manifesting, what's been going on for thousands of years. all the manipulation, the entire system that's been working against us. That's also with the stripes in the sky. If they would have just taken it away, you know, fixed everything, then people wouldn't know about them. I can just see a lot of people focusing on that, like, well, this is getting ridiculous. We've got all these stripes going on. What is going on? I don't believe it is from the dark side anymore, because they wouldn't do it so obviously, because they like to be kept in the shadows. That was their protection all along, and now everything is extreme, and I think that is also whiteheads. But like I said, that's how I see things, my perspective. Of course, always see if it resonates with you. The cards I've got, well, the first card was so obvious, the Queen of Wands. This is a whitehead operation with that entire treaty and all those things coming out. There are even countries are not going to sign. Great Britain is not going to sign. Slovakia is not going to sign. People are waking up. It's necessary, because this is the central card. The Page of Swords is about getting truths out there. We have the Seven of Cups in the past. There was a lot of confusion obviously going on. We've got the Page of Pentacles. This is about an opportunity. And for the future, we have the King of Cups, getting together, connecting, and the Star card. It's also, of course, about my off-worlders card, aliens card, but I do believe it's also about positive new future by connecting, humanity connecting, seeing it a different way, changing it. I do believe the change is already happening, especially also after last weekend, all the days with that solar storm. I do believe a lot of things have been put into motion, but this is really a whitehead operation to me. This is about showing information to people, giving them the opportunity to see it. Then we have these, you know, things now happening in Japan. I think that is a way of connecting, you know, all those scientists getting together, standing up against the Gates Foundation, also very important. Melinda apparently is leaving that foundation. I wonder why. Things are happening. It needs to be shown. People need to see it. That will get them out of the comfort zone, and that will give them the impulse to start to wake up. If you do everything for them, if the whiteheads would just come in, clear everything, oh, it's yeah, we're all right now, you are actually taking away the free will as well. You're not going to wake up people. People won't be, you know, really shook to the core to wake up. And then you really are left with people still giving away their powers, because now they're giving it to the whiteheads. Nothing has changed. And I think we should emphasize that this is about the Great Awakening. By doing things for everyone and just taking care of everything without the humanity actually involved in that, you're not going to get anywhere. So that's what I've got. This will lead to connection. Different positive way of a future will be heading towards that. That's also the star. It's about hope, changing, positive times ahead. I also looked at the week ahead, and we've got the Sun card, we have the King of Wands, and we have the Three of Wands. So I do believe this week a lot of things from the whiteheads will be coming out. That doesn't mean it's going to be all good things. Like I've just mentioned, we need things that shake things up. So I do think the whiteheads are going to be very important this coming week with things coming out. So don't, you know, nothing is what it seems. See and what resonates with you. I think things with children could come out. We're going to have to just wait and see with the Three of Wands what's going to happen. But things will be put into motion. And I think this week is going to be very important, especially after all the energies that came in this past weekend and still coming in. I think we're going to see a lot this week. And then we have the advice for this week. We've got the High Priestess, we've got the Page of Wands, and we got the Death card. Listen to your intuition, connect with God, connect with your soul. There is so much happening now with all these energies coming in. It's triggering all these old things coming up. This is now an opportunity to dive deep into your soul, connection with your soul, your intuition. There are things that you need to let go. It's important to let go. Situations, people, how you see things, convictions. This is the time to do that, so you can really find your passion and start working from that. The Page of Wands is about doing things you really enjoy, taking away all these things that hold you back, that hold you still in a certain comfort zone, and really stepping out of that, letting go of all these old things that don't suit you anymore. So I'd like to leave it at this. Hope to see you in another video. Bye.